Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Media Mania Podcast. I'm your host, as always, the Media Maverick, Mike Weldon, and tonight is a very special episode. Not only is it a return guest, but it's also the Halloween episode of the Media Mania Podcast. And rejoining the podcast today is Mighty Thor and producer Valkyrie from Thor's Day Live. What's up, guys?
It's just me today.
It's just you?
But Valkyrie's great, but she's just she's not required to work every show that I'm a guest on, so I didn't make her work today.
Okay. You let her have the day off.
Yeah, I let her have the day off. I am a benevolent dictator.
Well, for those of you wondering what the Halloween episode is this year, me and Thor are going to be talking about a cult classic. In my opinion, it's a spoof zombie movie called Cockneys versus Zombies.
Fantastic movie, man. It was great.
It's hilarious. Just to jump right into it. The very first time I watched it, I think I watched it on Comedy Central. It was on late one night. I'm like, and I love zombie movies, and I gotta watch this, and it's a spoof. It's just a spoof zombie movie.
Yeah, it's a comedy. It's a horror comedy. Yes, definitely, 100%. Yeah, no, it was fun, and just right away, the opening scenes just draw you right in. So from the very beginning, I was into the movie. It was a really easy movie to get into and follow and enjoy. It's been something that's been on my watch list for a while. I just hadn't watched it yet, and this gave me that opportunity to bump it up to the top. So I'm glad we're doing this so I can watch it. It honestly was I was very enjoyable. It was very enjoyable.
It is one of my favorite. It's especially like when you start giving the old people the guns. They tape the guns to the one old man's walker. I'm like, I could just. And when you said you were able to do it, I'm like, I'm gonna tell him this on the episode. Like that would be something Thor would do. He would tape guns to his walker when he's an old man. That would be Thor.
So obviously I'm a nerd. Well, I'm also a gun nerd. So there's actually two things about. Now, this isn't everything. This is just two specific things that were brought up at different times, or one that was shown and one that was brought up. And I don't know exactly how you want to do the layout of the movie. Do you want to talk about the plot and story first?
Oh yeah. And the plot, like it starts out like some construction workers. Like I know it's about some British bank robbers, but the whole zombie outbreak starts from some construction workers digging up like an ancient burial ground. I think it's a burial ground.
Yeah, sealed off. It was a tomb sealed off by, I think it was said King Edward III. Yeah, and like 16 or whatever. I can't remember the year on it, but yeah, I think it was King Edward III that officially sealed it off in the movie.
Yeah, and then some construction workers unearthed it and released the breakout,
which was the opening scene, and that just draws you in because they don't hold back on the gore. And it starts from the opening scene when they first break it open. So again, this movie pulls you right in.
Yeah, and the main characters in the movie are some bank robbers. They're trying to rob a bank to get enough money to keep their I think their grandpa's nursing home from being sold.
Yeah. So there's a big conglomerate that's buying up property to build an apartment complex, and one of the properties they're buying up is the old folks' home. And so the kids and their cousin and a couple of their other friends get together to rob a bank to get enough money to save the old folks' home, or at least take care of everyone inside.
Yeah, and then the outbreak affects them getting to the nursing home to get to their grandfather.
Yeah, it's basically they leave their grandfather's nursing home. They go to rob the bank, and while that's happening, the outbreak happens. And then the rest of the movie is them kind of fighting their way back to their grandfather and the rest of the old folks to help them out.
And one of the guys they're planning on robbing the bank with ends up, I think, either turning on them or getting killed, and they take his weapon stash to take to the old people.
Yeah. So Mental Mickey, played by Bashy, he had the weapons cache, and man, like, yeah, so he showed up, and that was actually one of my first gun nerd things. So when Mental Mickey first shows up, I got notes. He says that his Remington 870 Express can hold 8 3-inch Magnum shells. But with the configuration shown with the 18-inch barrel, at most it's holding 6 in the tube and 1 in the chamber, so 7 total. And it doesn't really matter, but he doesn't expressly say it's an Express Magnum. But I froze the screen when they showed the gun, and it is an Express Magnum, but he didn't specifically say that part of it. But it's a negligible part of the title of that gun, anyways. But yeah, so. They basically lied to add one more round. Like they wrote it wrong, and they only added one more shotgun round than what they would already hold. So it's kind of silly that they added one round.
Oh, they had to make it Hollywood,
Right. Now, don't get me wrong. There's competitive shotgun shooting. You have guys with mag tubes that are longer than their barrel because they hold like 10 rounds, but that's 10 shotgun shells. To
give a little hit to those who don't understand why Thor is a gun nerd, he is a former U.S. Marine. Well, okay, I'm sorry, I misspoke. A Marine never retires.
Yes, I am a former active duty Marine.
Yes, former active duty Marine. Once a Marine, always Marine.
Correct. Other than that, and then when they go back to Mental Mickey's locker to get the guns after, because he ends up getting bit and dying or getting killed by them because he turns. And they go back to the locker to get the guns. They're showing all the stuff in there, and they show a couple hand grenades. But the bottoms of the hand grenades are drilled out, which means they're demilitarized. So it's just, again, it's one of those things where obviously they're not going to have real hand grenades on set. But me seeing that, I immediately go, that's funny. Because I know they're just dummy grenades, basically. So what makes a grenade explode is a blasting cap inside. And it's enough force to ignite like the powder and then make the shrapnel part of the grenade blow apart. If you drill out the bottom and you still put a blasting cap in there, you're going to negate a lot of the explosion because it's going to go out. So it's a way you demilitarize a grenade is you drill out the bottom of it and take the blasting cap out. But even with the blasting cap in and the hole drilled out the bottom, it would still negate a lot of the pressure it would take to explode the grenade. So it wouldn't work as effectively.
Oh, yeah, my grandfather, I don't want to get too off topic, but before he passed away, he had a real grenade that he had demilitarized.
Yeah. You can get it's funny. I've seen them in anytime you see one of those joke desk things that says take a number and the number's on a grenade pin. I guarantee you back in the day, they used to just be demilitarized grenades because once you take out the explosives, it's just a chunk of metal, so it's not going to do anything. You could throw it at someone really hard.
What did you think about some of the cast that they chose to be
that's
in the
another
movie?
thing too. So Ray, the leader of the old folks home, the grandfather, he was played by Alan Ford, which Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch. He's great in those movies. I love him from those movies. So when the moment I saw him in the movie, I knew it was going to be a fun time. And he does. He ends up being one of the best parts of that movie. Everyone in the movie has horrible trigger discipline, though. They constantly have their fingers on the trigger. I hated that part. And the other thing is, I'm sorry. This is so out of order. I like that zombies are a known thing in the universe of the movie. So when they see zombies, they're like, oh, those are zombies. And everyone acknowledges what it takes to kill a zombie, headshots. And there are so few headshots from distances that it would be so easy to guarantee a headshot. And they're shooting him like in the shoulders and legs. And that is so frustrating.
And you're talking about one of my favorite scenes, the grandfather, the guy that plays the grandpa, he gave me one of my favorite scenes of the movie when they finally deliver the guns to the old people and they unzip the bag of guns. And the grandpa said, boys, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, grandpa better go to work.
Yeah, no, that was great. And I liked it when the former gangster, Yeah, with the fake leg gets bit, and they bite the fake leg instead of his real leg, and he takes it off and beats the zombie with it.
Oh, just beats him with it. That was
Oh yeah.
that's hilarious.
And the other thing is I know it's easier, and I know it's probably safer, but man, I hate CGI blood. I wish Hollywood would go back to squibs, like really nice squibs. I love the way squibs look on film when they explode, and I hate CGI blood. And they didn't overuse it in this movie, but when you have something that has as much gore as a zombie film, even if it's a comedy like this, CGI blood just even a little bit stands out so much. Especially if you have practical blood everywhere else, it stands out a lot.
Well, I have a question for you, since you were talking about the guns a minute ago, and so was I. With you being a Marine and being a gun nerd, can you tell when they're using a prop gun and when they're not using a prop gun in that movie?
One of the few things. So most of the guns, I don't know if they were necessarily completely fake or if they didn't look like they were all the time loaded with blanks. Sometimes that looked like the muzzle blasts were CGI.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know sometimes they were blanks, because like when Mental Mickey fires a shotgun off at the bank robbery, that's like blank shells going off. I can definitely see that. And one thing I noticed, and I slowed it down, when he's ejecting the shell in that scene, around the base of the shotgun shell, which would all be brass normally, and the primer in the middle, there's a black ring around the primer that's basically covering up most of the base of the shotgun shell. And I don't know if that was done to distinguish that it was a blank or to distinguish it was a dummy round, but it just stood out because it was usually when you looked at the base of a shotgun shell, it's all brass and you see the 12 gauge, whatever markings, and then you have the primer in the middle. This one had like where all the markings would be was just a black circle. And I didn't know why, but I was thinking it may have been a way to distinguish a dummy round or a blank firing round. I'm going to say most of the stuff was probably guns. I didn't. This is the biggest thing. Cycling. That's where you can tell if people are shooting guns and the action's not moving and it's not spitting casings out. It's not. They're not firing. There's nothing happening. They're just like they're adding whatever effects and afterwards. I didn't really look. I didn't really get a chance to see a lot of the guns fired, but like the Uzi, that one looked like they were using blanks a couple times. The grandfather's gun, he had the basically the M16A1, well A2 with a 203 grenade launcher on it, and that one looked like it was firing blanks as well. I've worked on it was a short film, and we had blank firing. We had like blank firing guns, and what we had was it was a real M4, but there was a adapter that went into the muzzle, the end of the barrel. And what happens is if you fire a blank out of a M16, because there's no bullet to stop the pressure and send it up into the gas tube to cycle the next round, you'll just fire one round and then it won't cycle another round in. So what you have to do is you have to block the majority of the end of the barrel to help basically build fake pressure like there's a bullet there so that the gun works properly. In the military, we use these big, huge square things that screw onto the birdcage suppressor or birdcage flash hider and into the barrel, and it's called a BFA, a blank firing adapter. And you basically screw it down, and it helps, again, it blocks most of the barrel and it allows that pressure to build so your weapon cycles. But they were big, bulky things that you could visibly see at the end of your barrel. The one we were using on this movie I did was like just the pin part of that at the end of the barrel, so you didn't have the big cage around it. And so when you were firing it on screen, it still looked like a regular gun. There was nothing crazy on it. And then it also would still give you muzzle flashes because some of the gas still escapes around the blank firing adapter. And it cycles your gun so you can continuously keep shooting and make it look more realistic. Some of the actions, the editing is so fast sometimes, especially with the gun firing and stuff. It's hard to tell a lot of times if the gun's actually being fired, the action's moving, or if they're firing blanks or adding stuff in CGI. Some of them definitely look like the person was just going, and they weren't firing, and they were just adding in the stuff. A lot of it's, if you're fake firing a gun, people always over exaggerate for some reason. And so they'll always do bigger movements than it actually would be. And that's usually when you can, especially people that maybe not have been around guns a lot. And then they're just kind of given guns for a movie or whatever. Then they're told to, fake fire it. They may have fired a little bit. And so they're going to exaggerate because they're thinking, oh, it's a gun. It's going to boom. No.
Yeah.
And so that's how you can kind of spot when someone's not actually firing and they're adding stuff in CGI. And there's a few scenes that I saw that in, but a lot of the gun fights were kind of, the editing was not overly choppy, but done in a way that it was hard to tell unless it was a very obvious CGI muzzle blast or something like that. It was hard to tell if they were using at all times either all blank firing or all CGI. I think it was a mix for a lot of it. There definitely was a fair amount of practical effects, and they used CGI, but again, it wasn't overused, but because of the use of practical effects, it stands out so much more. So to answer your question, a little mix of both. I think they were using some blank firing guns, and then some scenes they were adding CGI, and they just were, holding an empty gun or a dummy gun.
I know from the little bit of research I did about some of how the UK is with guns.
It's ridiculous. You have to have a license just for hunting, and you can't. We're talking the guns you can own are like shotguns, like double barrels and shit. Like they are super strict on guns.
Yeah, I know. That's why they're more into using knives over there than they are guns.
Yeah. Coincidentally, the UK kind of proved the point to people that when you ban one thing, people will just find another way.
They will.
Unfortunately. But that's just people.
What did you think? I don't know if you ever seen the other spoof zombie movie that's based in the UK, Shaun of the Dead.
I love Shaun of the Dead. It's one of the, I love the whole Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah, which one would you say was better, Cockneys versus Zombies or Shaun of the Dead, or are they about equal to you?
I gotta say Shaun of the Dead's better. I enjoyed Cockneys versus Zombies. I really did. It was very fun. But it was basically a retelling of Shaun of the Dead. It was a group of people finding out about the zombie apocalypse and then having to go save family and then get to a safe place. It was kind of the same story, so it's not taken away from that movie, but Shaun of the Dead just did it better.
I would have to agree with you. Plus, the actors from Shaun of the Dead, like I've watched so much of their work, like from Hot Fuzz, and I can't remember the one other movie I've watched with them, and it's that one with the alien in it. It's
Paul.
Paul, yeah, they're just so.
And then in World's End. Yeah, so the Cornetto trilogy is Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End. And then Paul was done. It's not actually part of the actual Cornetto trilogy.
What would you say was your favorite moment from Cockneys versus Zombies? Like, me personally, I like the ending.
I like the ending. Let's see. Let me see. I might have put this down. Oh, so the chick hostage. I gotta say this. This is for the ending. I think that Emma, who was played by Georgia King, by the end of the movie, she's just suffering from trauma and Stockholm syndrome. That's how her story ends. Because she starts to fall for one of the guys, and I know the guys never did anything else wrong in the movie. They just were trying to help their family, but still, by the end of that movie, she is in a bad position because of how this whole story has gone. It's just trauma. She's trauma bonding. Oh, this is great. An Indiana Jones callback when Katie shoots a zombie off the double-decker bus and then looks at everybody and says, "No ticket." Perfect. That was one of my favorite lines because it was such a perfect callback and not forcing it. it just kind of happened naturally, and so it kind of happened, and then I was like, oh, Indiana Jones callback, nice. So I like that one a lot. That was a good moment. Anything with anything with Alan Ford. Most of the cast wasn't super well known to me. Alan Ford, Bashy, those are about it. There may have been a couple other people that if I looked it up, they might have been in other stuff I've seen. But for the most part, the main cast wasn't people I knew really well of. And I think they did great. I think they did a fantastic job. Everyone was fun. What did you think about Davey being killed off? The comic relief. So I was watching it and I was taking notes as I'm watching. Because I watch it like twice. I watch it once to enjoy it, and then I watch it twice, second time to take notes. So Jack Doolan played Davey, the comic relief. I was in the middle of writing this. Davey is a great comic relief character who had the lighter moments / jokes, and he isn't overused. And then 5 minutes later, I had to add, and it sucked when he was killed because he hadn't been killed yet.
Yeah,
and we should probably warn people that there's going to be spoilers. Whoops.
Oh,
that's your fault. This is my show.
I forgot to put the spoiler in the description. Oh, I pressed the wrong button.
Yeah, I have no responsibility here. This isn't actually my show. You're in charge.
I pulled for those that don't know who are wrestling fans, I pulled the phrase I just used. I used that from Okada in All Elite Wrestling. He's been doing that. I don't want to get too into it, but he's been saying, "Oh, I pressed the wrong button, bitch."
Right?
Yeah, to answer your question, when they killed the comic relief, that was just that it sucked. It sucked they killed off the comic relief.
Because he wasn't overused, and he was actually they were actually using him like fucking perfectly. Like he would have a funny line, or part of his story was kind of comic relief. Like when he's talking about how he got caught robbing the store, and he literally starts flirting with the clerk, and sets his shotgun down, and she just picks it up and smashes him in the face with it.
Just passes.
I mean, right. He was just great, and it sucks that. And I get it. It's what you want, because that's the feelings you want. You want the satisfaction when Mental Mickey dies because he was an asshole, and so when he gets off, you're like, cool, and especially the way he gets killed. And then you have the complete opposite reaction when Davey dies, because you liked him and everything was good and they weren't overusing his humor and it was perfect. And then he just out of nowhere, and you're like, shit. And the rest of the movie loses a little bit of that comic relief because nobody else picks it back up.
I want to circle back to something you were saying about the Uzis. I talked a little bit about it, but the one scene when they get to the nursing home with the guns and the one old man with the walker, and they just tape. I think it's what, two Uzis, or is it one? No, it's one Uzi.
I think it was just one on one side. Yeah,
they tape it to his walker, and he I don't know if it's just me, but he acts like he doesn't know how to use it at first, but then he just like goes to town with it.
That part was great. That part really was. And then and the guy shooting the shotgun off at first because he wouldn't take his finger off the trigger. But no, that guy with the Uzi was great, because it was funny because he was flirting with the bigger nurse, the nursing home nurse. And then he comes out of the kitchen and she's dead and eating somebody else, and he's like, "Sorry, love," and just lights her up with the Uzi. It's fantastic. I don't think I like you anymore. I just
then is I don't know if he's the same guy, but he's outside when the other old people try to get him back in the nursing home.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah.
And he just takes his sweet time getting back.
They're like zombies. He turns and he's like, "Oh, zombies!"
It's just a funny, hilarious movie, and that's what made me pick it to do with my Halloween episode. I had a couple of different movie ideas I wanted, but I want some funny. I want some that no one really. You have all these people that do the big titles for their Halloween episode. I want something unique. I want something that'll give people a laugh.
Yeah. Well, and here's something too. Like, I got a question for you. So, when they're robbing the bank and the police show up.
Mm-hmm.
So they're inside basically while the zombie apocalypse goes by them.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't see outside of the bank. But I was very curious about this, so I timed it. From the last moment we see the street normal with the cops out there wanting them to come out of the bank to the next time that we leave the bank with the people, it is only 1:53 minutes of screen time. The amount of destruction that is shown from the last time we see the streets normal to the next time, less than 2 minutes later, is a bit much. I get they're trying to go like overboard to show, but man, it was a little bit too much destruction. It was like literally almost like some sort of bomb went off.
Mm-hmm.
And and you didn't really, you heard some stuff outside of the bank, but you couldn't really tell what it was, at least not with where I was watching on Amazon Prime. I don't know, maybe the sound wasn't that great, but I could hear stuff going on outside the bank, but not quite. But I only heard it when I rewatched it because it's so low.
Yeah.
If you're not looking, if you're paying attention to what they're saying and not really listening, you kind of don't hear it. I only really heard it the second time watching it through. And it just is so much in such a short period of time. And honestly, it's probably less time in the actual universe of the movie because that was a minute or, just under 2 minutes of just screen time. But in that 2 minutes, they leave the bank scenario and they go back to the nursing home and we see what the nursing home is up to. Then we go back to the bank. So in that 2 minutes, we flash from one scene to another and back. And it's a lot that happens with very, very little buildup. I wish they had done more. They did good zombie buildup, but I wish they had done more buildup to the devastation that they showed when they first walk out of the bank after the zombies have gone through, basically. It was just, it was fine. This is getting nitpicky. It's just a bit much. Like I would have wanted to do more of a build up before that happened. But I also know they're limited on screen time and, editing and all that stuff may not have worked, but it was just a very fast jump from basically perfectly clean streets and normal people to like literally like a war zone. And it was less than 2 minutes of screen time. And you're just like, that's a bit much. Especially because the zombies aren't really running zombies in this movie. They're mainly walking zombies.
It kind of reminded me of how Shaun of the Dead did. Because like in the Shaun of the Dead, Sean's mom's boyfriend or whatever he is, he gets bit. Then acts like it's no big deal at first.
It was so funny. That just popped up somewhere today where it's that theme from Shaun of the Dead where he's on the phone with his mom. Mom, did you get bit? No, but I think Philip did. Oh, okay. And then what happened is, did she get bit? No, but Philip might have. Oh, okay. It might have to kill my step. And they're just like, whatever, because it's Philip.
Yeah, like Sean and Ed, I think, get drunk one night, then wake up. Sean wakes up the next morning to go to work, and just everything is like, you can tell the zombie apocalypse has started.
Yeah. And that's like more time. That was like a whole night went by.
Yeah.
And there was even stuff happening the day before in that movie that they start announcing. If you're really listening, you start hearing stuff happening.
Yeah.
And then the next morning it actually has happened. And that is good because even though that's a short time in the movie, like actual screen time, that is a full period of sleep for the most part in their world. So you can accept that as, that this much time went by. And that's why I say that Shaun of the Dead just did what this movie is better.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of one of those movies that followed the format, but wanted to make a movie, but needed to make sure that it was going to do, I don't want to say well, but like somewhat successful, and basically following the blueprint of Shaun of the Dead. And don't get me wrong, they did okay. It's just because of Shaun of the Dead, it's better. So again, this movie was fun, but again, if you've seen Shaun of the Dead, you've kind of seen this movie already.
Yeah, and Shaun of the Dead has some unique kills with some weapons. Like they had the cricket bat, golf club. They use records. They use records to throw at the zombies. And it was
Yeah, the
like,
only creative
okay,
kill in this movie was the hand grenade in the mouth. I
that
mean,
was
really.
hand grenade in the I would not want to go out that way.
Well, I mean, if you're a zombie, you're not really worried about it.
No, but we're not zombies.
Well, you know what, though? That moment that hand grenade goes off, guess what? It's not your problem anymore.
That's
Suddenly,
not.
it doesn't matter to you.
See,
That was something that an EOD guy, there was this explosive ordnance disposal was getting interviewed by some newspaper or whatever. And they're like, don't you ever worry about if the bomb goes off or something explodes? He's like, why would I worry? If the bomb goes off, it's suddenly not my problem anymore. I don't have to deal with it anymore.
not my problem. Uh,
It's true though.
this is an awesome episode.
Dude. Yeah, I like how they know what zombies are in the movie, but I hate how they say the rules and they are like almost blatantly ignoring the rules of how to kill them because there's just like, from 3 feet away, they're pulling a gun on a zombie and then shooting him in the shoulder. And I'm like, you guys have said already that it takes headshots to kill him. Why are you just basically you're technically not even wounding a zombie when you shoot him anywhere but the head because they just keep coming anyways. That was one of the things that got me was like, why don't they stick to the rules that the universe has established that they know about and that zombies are a thing? So yeah, that again, one of the things that Shaun of the Dead just did it better because they acknowledge there's zombies in that movie, but it's not it's not overly done. It's just like a kind of a quick thing. Oh, okay, yeah. And then they start taking care of business basically.
I want to know how in Cockneys versus Zombies they knew how to they knew they were zombies and how to kill them. I want to know how they already knew what to do. I want some back details.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so basically, I look at it like this: like that movie's kind of in our world. So, like, if we were to suddenly have a zombie outbreak, well, we know what zombies are because we've had them in pop culture for decades now. But like, if a lot of movies that have zombies aren't a thing in that movie's universe. So when the zombie outbreak happens, they don't know what zombies are. Like there's no such thing as zombies. Like in The Walking Dead, they don't like in that universe, zombies isn't a thing. So when the outbreak happens, they don't know what it is. It's just walkers. They're not zombies, they're walkers. So if we were to in the real world were to have a zombie outbreak, we would know, oh, those are zombies, just like happens in this movie. Like they literally walk out of the bank and then they look around and then the Katie chick goes, oh, zombies. And they're like, are you sure? And they one of the guys they had shot stands back up with his guts falling out. And she's like, yep, pretty sure. And it's like, so it's kind of happens in a world similar to ours, to where something that is in the pop culture and cultural zeitgeist ends up coming true. And so we have a name for it already. Whereas like in the Walking Dead universe, zombies aren't a thing in pop culture. So when the outbreak happens, they're not zombies in that universe. They're just walkers or whatever, undead.
What did you think about the two endings and how they're different from each other from Shaun of the Dead and Cockneys versus Zombies? Where one in Shaun of the Dead, it just shows Sean playing video games with Zombie Ed, and in Cockneys versus Zombies, they just get away on, I think, a ferry boat.
Yeah. I mean, it leaves, okay, so in one way with the Cockneys versus Zombies, that leaves it open for interpretation. So you can kind of go with on your own at that point. You can say, oh, I don't think they made it. Or you can say, I think they made it to whatever that safety zone that they found out about earlier in the movie was that. But also the same can be said for Shaun of the Dead, because while it is a more wrapped up and concluded ending, there's still the possibility because, he's still sitting there playing video games with a zombie who literally tries to bite him a couple times when he sits down. And so eventually he's probably going to get bit, maybe, but who knows? So both end in a way that can lead you to speculate on what will happen next. Shaun of the Dead ties up the conclusion of the movie better while still having those possibilities that you can kind of expound on. Whereas Cockneys versus Zombies, it's almost like they ended the movie before the final fight of them getting to the secure area and surviving. So, like, in my mind, once they're on that boat, they would have gone a little bit and had to get off for some reason, and they had to fight their way to the base. And once they're with other people, they're safe. So, again, maybe not everyone's perfect example of an ending, but it would have been a tighter conclusion. But I also don't have a problem with just the speculation, but just the way it kind of drops off there. It didn't conclude the movie completely to me, if that makes sense. Whereas with Shaun of the Dead, it concluded the movie, but also left things to where you can speculate on whether it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, or whether it's going to happen again. Where this one, they're still in the middle of the zombie apocalypse, and they just end it with them on the water, and not even on a large body of water, just on a river. They're just on a river, I know that you can eventually get to where you need to go, but and they just kind of end it, and it's kind of like a cliffhanger ending that didn't need to be a complete cliffhanger ending. You could have left it open for speculation without just kind of ending it in such just suddenly in my eyes. Like, it was a very sudden ending. Like, everyone's like, yay, credits. There's still zombies everywhere, but they're just like, yay, credits. Like, I would have liked to see just a little bit more to wrap it up. They wrapped up the characters well, and they wrapped up the character story well. They wrapped up the character story very well. They showed everything with the boys, why they wanted to do it. They explained why they want to do it later on. They go through everything. They actually end up getting more because of the misunderstanding with I believe the construction company is like embezzling money, because this one guy's trying to hide money. And then when they show up to the bank to rob it, they're wearing uniforms from the construction site of the same place where the guy's trying to launder money from. So when they show up, the lady's just like, "Oh, you're here for the money? Follow me." And they're just like, "What's going on?" But it just like, and then they go from there, and then they get the money, and then they find out about the zombie apocalypse, and then they're fighting through that, and then they get their grandfather and all the other old folks. And it's just, again, it's they finish the character stories, but the movie story of what's going on just kind of ends. And I just don't think it was done well enough to end it like that in this example. Like, for this movie, this movie should have been ended a little bit differently. Whereas other movies can end like this and be good, those movies have a little bit more preceding that moment that builds up to it. So that is the only thing. Again, it's a nitpicky thing.
Oh yeah, with
a movie like this, I mean, it's only really nitpicky I'm going to be, because I'm not going to bitch about the writing. I'm not going to super bitch about the editing, because obviously this was a lower budget movie. Mm-hmm. People know, and if you don't know, here's a tip: if you want to make a movie and make money, make a horror movie. Horror movies almost always earn money because they're super cheap to make, and people always want to see them. So you almost always make money on making a horror movie. So I know it was probably a lower budget movie, especially because they only had a couple like notable names in it. Again, a lot of the special effects were done After Effects CGI, because it probably was the cheaper route and the easier, more practical route to go. Where was I going with this? But yeah, overall, like, again, it was a good. It was a good, like, character story was good. Mm-hmm. Movie overall just kind of ended, and I wanted just a little bit more. Like, it left me wanting, like, Shaun of the Dead ends, and I'm like, oh, that's good. But I can still speculate on what's possible, what might happen. This one ended, and I'm like, I want a little bit more. And then I want that speculation. It was just a bit quick. But yeah, character stories, though, they did fantastic with the character stories. And so I'm not going to nitpick writing, because it was a very basic story. Again, it was kind of Shaun of the Dead all over again in a different way. But it was an inexpensive movie. I'm not going to really harp on the special effects. I'm going to bitch about CGI blood, just because CGI blood sucks no matter where you use it. Even in John Wick, CGI blood sucks. The filming was actually done pretty well. Like the actual videography, filming, stuff like that was with the cinematography. It was actually done pretty well. The editing, again, how choppy it was, sometimes a little rough. But honestly, the overall filming of it was done fairly well. Like they had good moments of build up and tension, and then good moments of build up and comedy. Like you had build up and tension with some of the zombie things, and then you had the guy trying to run from the zombie in a walker, using a walker, and it's that same build up and tension, but then it's comedy instead of horror. And it so the only thing the only thing I'm gonna say in the long run is it's a retelling of a story you've already seen. It's worth watching because it's funny, but I wish they had just done like 15 more minutes of movie, maybe 10. You don't even have to do 15, 10. I think you could have just wrapped up the movie story a little bit tighter and had room for speculation still afterwards. But it wasn't a horrible ending. It was just kind of sudden because everything's still going to shit around them.
I've got a 2-part question for you. It's a bit of a curveball. Well, in my opinion, it's a bit of a curveball. I want let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I want to know where you would put it on a list of zombie horror movies, whatever. As not only because I know you're not only a horror fan, but you're also a gun nut. So between how it looked as a zombie movie and the guns and how the guns were used in the movie, where would you put it on a list of movies for people to watch?
So
like from 1 to 100.
So what? So like, are we saying like Shaun of the Dead's like the bar to reach?
Okay, I'll rephrase it. If Shaun of the Dead and Cockneys versus Zombies were in the top 5 zombie movies, where would you place them on top of each other? Where would you place them?
So let's narrow it down a little bit more because we'll have to say like kind of comedy zombie, because I can't really put Cockneys versus Zombies up against something like the original zombie movie, or Land of Living Dead. I can't match those because those are serious ones. But like with Shaun of the Dead, I can't really pull too many other comedy zombie movies off the top of my head right now. I know there's some out there, but honestly, it would probably be like a 3, because I know I've seen some other comedy zombie movies that are just shit. And if Shaun of the Dead's going to be number 1, which I would definitely put it as far as movies like that, it's definitely number 1 spot for me. Okay. There's probably something I've seen that's in between. I can't think of anything right now, it would probably be a 3, because I guarantee you there'll be one more besides Shaun of the Dead that would beat it. But I know there'll be a couple that are not as fun to watch, but are still trying, that'll be a little bit below it. So probably like 3, 4 at the most, depending on if there's another one out there that's a little bit better. But it would still be, it's a slightly above average movie.
Okay.
It's fun to watch. You'll enjoy moments, and then you'll be happy that the characters go through what they go through, and you'll be I feel like most people will be happy with the characters' conclusions and the character stories, even if they're kind of disappointed like I was with how the movie ended overall. Again, I was very happy with how the characters were handled and how their stories were concluded and finished and finalized. As far as like what they were trying to do that day, I know their stories as far as surviving isn't done, but the story for that day, they wrapped that up nicely. So let's do it this way.
Okay.
Let's do out of 10. Let's do I was thinking about doing like a movie review show a while back, and I was going to do like out of 10 hammers. So we'll just do stars. Your show. We'll do whatever. We'll do jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween.
Jack-o'-lanterns. Yep. Jack-o'-lanterns.
So out of 10 jack-o'-lanterns, if Shaun of the Dead was a 10, this would be a 5 or a 6. It's not bad.
I'd give Cockneys versus Zombies a 5.5.
Yeah. I would. Again, I would. If I had written down more movies to have on hand, I would have probably been able to pick a little bit more specifically. But I would say about a 5 or 6. So yeah, and again, it's if you have Amazon Prime, it's on there. You can just watch it. So if you have Amazon Prime, just watch it. It's free, or it's part of your subscription, so you're not paying any extra.
Zombieland.
My biggest thing is I would have
Zombieland.
What's that?
Zombieland. It's another comedy.
Oh, see, there you go. Zombieland. There's another. Yeah, I don't even know why. Even the second Zombieland. Okay, so here you go. So Shaun of the Dead was 1. Zombieland is 2. And those might, for some people, those might be flip-flop, which is totally fair. I get it. But if Shaun of the Dead and Zombieland are 1 and 2, and I'm talking about Zombieland 1, and then Zombieland 2 was 4, then Cockneys versus Zombies is 3. Because I still enjoyed Zombieland 2, but I definitely enjoyed Cockneys versus Zombies more than I enjoyed Zombieland 2. I enjoyed, yeah. I don't know what would be in 5, but it would. There's like so like Zombieland would be like a 7 or 8 on my 10 scale. Cockneys Zombies, 5, 6. Shaun of the Dead 8, 9, 10. So that's and then Zombieland 2 would fall like a 4 or 5.
I know there's another zombie movie. I don't know if I consider it a comedy movie. It's called Warm Hearts.
Warm Hearts or Warm Bodies?
Warm Bodies. I think that's Warm
Nicholas
Bodies.
Hoult, Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a romance comedy zombie movie.
Romantic teen romance type of a movie.
Yeah. Well, it also had this comedy in it too, so you could double classify it. That's another one that you could use.
Well, that's the problem with me. So that's why the moment someone looks at me and says, "Hey, what's your favorite movie?" That's impossible. I can give you like my top 5 to 10 movies in every genre and then possibly subgenres, but I can't pick just one movie I like out of everything. That's an impossibility. So you get into like, you've got like, you got your drama, and then below drama, you got comedy drama, romantic drama, and horror drama, and thriller drama. And then, you got action, and then you got drama action. I love movies in general, and that's why it's so difficult to like put movies on a scale sometimes. And that's why I like the 1 to 10 type of thing, or like thumbs up, like Siskel and Ebert used to do. Because it's an easier way for me to put a movie in a place than try and list them in like a hierarchy order. It's easier for me to do a 1 through 10 scale and be like, yeah, it falls here, or it falls here, or it falls here. Because I've seen, and I just love movies. I have it's packed away now, but I have over 1,000 DVDs, and this is just within the last 10 years that I acquired all this. But I got like over 1,000 DVDs. VHS tapes I've had forever, but I've got a shit ton of VHS tapes. I have and then I have a hard drive with 700 or 800 movies on that. I have a shit ton of movies. I love movies. I like some TV. I like TV shows, but I'm a way bigger movie buff than I am a TV buff.
Speaking of DVD, I actually have Cockneys versus Zombies on DVD. It's in my DVD room.
Nice.
That actually made it easier for me to pick it, because I knew it was on Amazon Prime. Like I have it like physical access to it, so like it's easier for me to go just watch it and be able to talk about it easier.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm a big physical media guy. Like, eventually, I'm going to start adding to my movie collection, because okay. So this is one of the reasons I'm a big physical media guy. George Lucas has specifically said the reason he's changing Star Wars now and redoing stuff in the original movies is because he knows that the formats that the original movies were done on are eventually going to degrade and go away. And so the only thing that will be left are the digital format movies, which are now all changed and updated. So eventually you're no longer going to be able to find an original copy of Star Wars that's untouched, because I have it on VHS, I have it on DVD, but eventually that VHS tape's going to fall apart, and eventually that DVD is going to degrade. It may take longer, but it'll happen. And yeah, there's going to be a point in time in our world where people cannot see the original version, theatrical release of any of the first 3 Star Wars movies. And I find that very upsetting. And so I love having physical media to maintain stuff like that. I have theatrical release versions of all Star Wars movies. And I eventually I'm probably going to end up copying them digitally so that I can still maintain those original copies. Like I'll take my VHS tapes and record them onto digital format. But man, isn't that crazy to think? There's going to be movies that people won't be able to see the original version of because the format's degraded and gone, and the only thing you have is what's available. Yeah, and so that's why I hold on to physical media as much as possible.
Yeah, like I scroll through social media. I don't want and I've seen like videos of some unedited footage from the original Star Wars movies of like Boba Fett's voice, like the 2 different voice actors. Like you have the newer version and the original version, and it's so hard to find that now.
Yeah, dude, the first thing, one of the first things was change. Like, okay, so the very first update to the original Star Wars trilogy that George Lucas did, I didn't have a problem with, because that was just like in Empire Strikes Back when they're doing the snow speeders. In the original films, you could see through the cockpit lines because it was they did the plate filming where they did different layers for the effects. Yeah. You could see through the cockpit lines because they were added in after, and all they did was went in and darkened those so that you couldn't see through them, and they added the explosion of the Death Star, and I was okay with that. And then they did shit like Greedo shooting first, and I was not okay with that. Because I'm sorry, Han Solo is a scoundrel and an asshole. He is going to shoot you first if you are threatening him. Stop being a fucking bitch about it. People can be assholes, and you can represent assholes in film. It doesn't make us like him any less. He got himself out of a horrible situation with someone who was obviously going to do harm to him. So yeah, and then it just got worse and worse. And they started adding more and more shit and taking shit away. That's what I hate. I hate them taking away stuff.
All right. It's terrible. I have a question. It's a Halloween thing. With it being the Halloween season, and for anyone watching who's a Halloween spooky horror movie lover, where would you get during this time of year? Where would you tell them to go? What movies would you have them watch to get into the spooky season feeling?
You know what? A lot of people these days, especially, I guarantee you won't know this. Peter Jackson. Did you know that Peter Jackson started out in very, very, very graphic horror movies?
I didn't.
Yeah. Go check out Bad Taste. Or what's the other one he did? Oh man. Just go look up Peter Jackson's first films. You will be blown away with the amount of gore and just disgustingness in his films. And this is the guy that did the Lord of the Rings, all 3 of them, and The Hobbit. The movies he first started making are fucking insane. So I definitely recommend any early Peter Jackson stuff. So what I'm giving you now is I'm giving you the stuff that I personally would watch during Halloween.
Okay.
So any early Peter Jackson stuff. Let's see, what else would I do? I'm a slasher guy, so any like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. Yeah. Evil Dead. Any of the Evil Deads. If you want to be scared, watch the first one. If you want to laugh, watch the second and third one. Watch them all though. Man, what's else? You know what? I'm gonna throw a curveball out there. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That is a fucking Halloween movie that everyone should watch for the season. Love that movie.
The other podcast I'm a part of, the Mayhem Media, we're doing a episode this Friday night on the Friday the 13th movies.
Oh, nice.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh man, I love Friday the 13th movies. I love it because I'm a huge Kane Hodder fan, and he is the guy who's played Jason the most times. He's played him 4 times, I believe. And he played him in Jason X, which is one of my favorite iterations of Jason because of how he looks in the end. I know people don't like it. I don't care. Fuck off. I fucking love the way Jason X looks in the end of that. He looks like such a fucking badass.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, for those that don't know it, I'm not. It's not up right now, but Thor is actually. He helped me make my Halloween logo of the podcast for Halloween.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's up in the corner. You can see it. It's kind of tiny.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. I forgot I put it up there. But yeah,
that was fun, man.
He made that for the podcast, and I appreciate him making it. It looks awesome. And he really went into detail making it look like Freddy Krueger got to try to get to Media Mania in our dreams.
You know, I this is the thing. So when you showed me the original design, I saw what you wanted and I saw what you were going for. And I'm one of those people that like I'm a good builder onto. Like I can come up with ideas, but like what I do best is like when I'm trying to think of something, Valkyrie will just like say one word and the word it will just trigger the entire idea. And so I'm good at building onto like a simple idea, not taking away from your design. I just say like, you know, just I'm good at building onto. So when you showed me what you're trying for, what you're doing, it morphed in my mind and it just changed a little bit to where I'm like, you know what, it could be. I can see what he wants, and I think I can show him just a little bit better version. And I'm glad you like it, man. I feel like I represented what you were really wanted to show with that logo.
Oh, speaking of Mayhem Media, we have a guest trying to join in. I'm gonna bring him in. He's the host of Mayhem Media and the owner, JD.
Well, I'm not trying to bust into your show. You asked me if I could join you. And
is he here? Is he in the chat? Oh, hey.
Yeah, he's here.
What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, he can. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, I just want to make sure you guys.
What's up, man? It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, man. Thanks for coming on.
I don't think Thor can hear you.
No, bummer.
Thor can't hear me?
No, he can't hear you.
Well, that's disappointing. All right.
I don't know, man.
I'll leave. I will try it again. If not, I'll just bail out. It's not a big deal.
I can hear him. I can hear him on the replay. I can't hear him on my thing, on my main camera.
That's definitely weird. All right, let me try again. I'm going to come right back.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, you were talking about it a minute ago, Charlie Brown. You made me feel old when you saying it was the Great Pumpkin Patch, Charlie Brown. Like, what are you trying to do? Make me feel old, Thor?
Yeah, you want to talk? Oh man, you don't even. Frog, what happened today? There was something that like popped up, and I'm just like, God damn, I know that because I'm old.
Yeah, why don't you? Something. I have something you don't. I have something you don't.
Then what's that?
A full head of hair.
That's something you don't.
Oh, don't you dare! Don't you even dare! I already know what you're bringing out. Don't you dare! I already know.
I was gonna grab a wig and throw it up, but I can't find it.
Oh, I see.
What do you think I was gonna bring out?
I thought you were bringing out the Deadpool again. The Deadpool.
I mean, he's right. He's right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Another thing you brought up. You talking about Kane Hodder. I'm still mad. Dude, I'm still mad at you about something. I'm still jealous of you about it. And I've been because Kane Hodder and one of your former guests got to meet Kane Hodder this past weekend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I've never got to meet the guy. I would love to. I've never been at close to a convention that he was attending when I was able to go, unfortunately. I would love to meet him though. He's a juggalo. He's done stuff with he's done stuff with ICP, I believe, because he's done. I'm pretty sure he's done some stuff with them.
Yeah, your former guest, the Black Dahlia, got to meet him this past weekend.
Oh yeah.
And apparently,
that's a double whammy for you.
Yeah. I'm still trying to get her on a show.
Keep pressing.
Man, it's just. Apparently, I didn't know she's a juggalo as well.
Oh yeah, she done stuff with JCW, I believe, or she wanted to. I can't remember.
Did ICP? Did they ever do any Halloween albums? Like,
so every year they do their annual Halloween show, and when they do that, they'll make a single, and they'll give you that single for free at the show, except for the year 2000. 2000 Halloween show, they did an entire box set of 4 CDs, a t-shirt, a poster, a sticker. They're all numbered. There was only 2,000 of them made, but they do it every Halloween. So yeah, they do, like, it's not a full album, but it's a single, maybe 2 songs. But they do a dedicated Halloween show every Halloween, and it's almost always I think it's always been in Detroit. Like, they've never done the main Halloween show on Halloween. They've never done it outside of Michigan. It's always, I'm pretty sure they've always done that one show. They've done the Halloween tours, but their actual, like, 30th and 31st shows are usually always in Michigan.
See, I need to catch I have not been to an ICP concert yet.
Dude, they're touring right now. They're actually in LA tonight.
I'm surprised you're not there.
You know what? I hate to say it. I know stuff's gone up in price, but man, back in the day, I never paid. Okay, unless it was a multiple day event or like that box set, I never paid more than $20-$25 for an ICP show. Again, unless, like, that Halloween show where I got that box set was $100 for the show, but I got that a box set well worth, in my eyes, over $100, and I got to go to a concert, so I got my money's worth. But for just a regular concert, just to get to the show, usually to get in is $20-$25. This is going to be over $70 just to get the ticket. Not even driving to LA, getting there, parking, just for the fucking ticket. They wanted $70 goddamn dollars. And I know part of that's because of fucking Ticketmaster.
Yeah, Ticketmaster.
Because when IPP used to sell their tickets just through the fans and shit, like, they were always cheap as shit. And now you have to go through Ticketmaster for all these shows, and Ticketmasters they're just fucking assholes.
They've fallen from grace.
And I remember Ticketmaster used to be a shit. Like, you'd be waiting outside the store in line and waiting for tickets to go on sale, and then the moment they go on sale, the line would start moving, and, like, man. And nowadays, because of online shit and just their monopoly on stuff, oh god, it's just horrible. And then the scalping shit, yeah. So unfortunately, yeah, I missed this show, but I was trying to go. In fact, I told you when you first asked me about this show, I'm like, I might be going to an ICP concert that night. But
yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
it didn't work out.
So if you had to leave the people who are watching, if they're big spooky, if they're into the spooky season or horror fans and they celebrate during this time of year, what would you tell them? Like, what would you leave them with to lighten their spirits up during the spooky season times?
Like words of wisdom?
Yeah.
It's only real if you believe in it.
And would you take the trick or would you take the treat?
No, yeah. So, okay. So legitimately, be safe. Enjoy the spooky season. Take advantage of it. Don't be harmful, but you know, nobody will cry over a few tricks if they're the right kind of tricks. So enjoy the spooky season. Don't let people tell you that you can't because you're too old. If you want to go trick or treating, go trick or treating. It doesn't matter how old you are. You know what? That's the thing. You're only as old as you let yourself be.
Yeah.
You know, if you, I went trick or treating until well into the age where people would look at me going, "Aren't you a little old?" And I'd be like, "It doesn't matter." And then I had kids, and it gave me a reason to go back out and trick or treat again. So I was going back with my kids now.
Give me candy.
Yeah. Hey, it's free candy, man. Who's going to turn that down? If you're an adult and you don't see the benefit in a night of going out and getting free candy, something wrong. Something wrong. I mean, come on, you think about it. If you're handing out candy, you don't even have to go anywhere. So I get that. But like if you can go out, enjoy the spooky season. Look into the history of it. I love the actual true history of the traditions of Halloween and All Hallows Eve and All Saints Day and Samhain and all that stuff. Like, look into that stuff, research that stuff. It goes back well beyond Christian beliefs and stuff, and way back into the pagan era of humanity. Look into it. It's got some amazing traditions and stuff, and the reasons why the traditions are what they are. So I definitely encourage people to truly research the history of Halloween and all the practices, and why they were done, because it is very interesting. And again, it's one of those things where I'm a big nerd and I'm a general nerd, so that's just nerd shit to me. So I love research and stuff. Look into it though. Halloween is one of the most fascinating holidays with some of the most rich traditional histories and stuff being put into it out of most of the holidays, in my opinion. There are very few holidays that are kind of worldwide. Like, I know Halloween isn't worldwide.
No.
But I mean, like Christmas, Halloween, New Year, those are like beyond American borders holidays. Like 4th of July, that's just us. Valentine's Day, yeah, maybe some other people, but I'm pretty sure Valentine's Day is just us for the most part. And so it's out of like those holidays that have deep-rooted traditions. I think Halloween even beats out Christmas, because Christmas has got some pretty boring shit in its history. And it's got some cool shit too. Look into Krampus. Oh, look into Krampus. You want to see the good side of Christmas? Look into the history of Krampus.
You know what? As soon as we get done with this, I'm sending you something, because
for Christmas.
I'm send you something.
Hey, do you want to do a Christmas show? And we'll do the movie Krampus.
Oh, it's getting put on the books as soon as we go off the air.
That movie, I love it. I will watch that movie multiple times again to make sure. That movie was great. Love that movie.
I'm gonna send you the one song no one wants to hear right now because it's too early to hear. I'm gonna send it to you. No,
don't you dare send me Mariah Carey's. Don't you fucking dare.
I will do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
It is not even past Halloween, sir. That is rude and disrespectful.
It's rude and disrespectful to this
dare you to play it now.
I can't play it. I don't have anywhere to play it on right now. You
can play 5 seconds of it. That's technically fair.
I'm on my phone. I don't have it. I don't have it ready to upload.
5 seconds of it would just be like, and that.
I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you.
I'm gonna counter this by giving a shout out to an awesome musician. Shout out to the Phantom AD, by the way. I'm wearing his shirt for this Halloween show. If you want to hear some awesome spooky music, go check out the Phantom AD.
I'll counter you with another one. I'm not wearing their shirt right now, but if you want to check out another band that's not very known, well, at least I didn't know about them until the last 2 or 3 years, is the band Ghost.
No, dude, you didn't know Ghost?
I didn't know Ghost.
Oh, dude, Ghost is fucking awesome.
I know. My ex-girlfriend got me into them.
Yeah, Ghost. Yeah, they've got some good shit. It's funny because it's not, but I kind of jokingly to myself, I call them like pop devil music
Mm-hmm.
because it's like kind of satanic, but it's also kind of like fun sometimes.
I've got to see one of their concerts. It was just such an awesome time. It was an awesome
dude,
time.
I've not seen them live. I would love to.
Oh, dude, it is a whole experience.
You know who I really want to see live as well, but the only thing is they don't tour the US that often is Rammstein. I love Rammstein. And I have never been to one of their shows, and their shows are fucking epic.
One of the next episodes I have you on, not the Christmas one, but the one I do after, I'm gonna do a music episode just talking about all the music and how there's so many different genres and some of the bands me and you both listen to, and how some of the bands.
Dude, if you were to scroll through my playlist, you'd be like, "What the fuck?" I got everything from like classical music to fucking Ghost to like Finn Troll. Dude, if you ever listened to Finn Troll, it's Norwegian Viking music, basically, or black metal, Norwegian black metal.
And with it being shit, this might not be Halloween to some people, but I would feel wrong because they painted their faces for years as part of the band, and it broke my heart earlier this week to see it about fucking Ace from the Spaceman from Kiss passing away.
Ace Frehley, yeah.
It broke my heart.
That was surprising. Man, you kind of, and Kiss was around well before I was in this world, and they've been around my whole life, and they were around before me, and it's crazy to see these guys who, it's a little bit different for actors than it is like musicians. I think I see musical acts like because of their performances and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they've got, like when I saw Ozzy, dude, I never thought Ozzy was going to die.
No.
Dude, I legitimately never thought that man was going to die. When I saw the Black Sabbath reunion tour in 99, granted that was in 1999, but that dude then was running around on stage like a fucking 18-year-old.
Sharon!
Dude, it was insane. And I just, you just see these people that are just these like gods of rock and music, and because of their personas and everything, like fucking the Rolling Stones, dude, all those people did so many fucking drugs, they should have been dead decades ago, and somehow they're fucking still alive. And that's what like caught me off guard with Ozzy, because I'm like, dude, I thought he was gonna live forever. And I know that's not true, but fuck, man, sometimes you look at people and you're like, dude, if half the drugs in the world couldn't stop the guy, And
the only reason I brought up Ace is I see people every year dressed up as members of Kiss for Halloween and like for Halloween parties.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so Kiss played a part in pop culture in every way and form.
That that Family Guy episode where they're going to see Kiss, and Peter finds out Lois isn't really a Kiss fan because he's like, who's your favorite? And she's like, Ace Frehley. She's like, that's not true. Nobody, not even, or like that was it not even Ace Frehley likes Ace Frehley or something like that. It was fucking hilarious.
There's another episode. Peter has started a band with Joe, Glenn, and Quagmire, and Gene Simmons shows up and starts doing the tongue thing, and it just shows they really exaggerate how long his tongue really is. Yes. And his tongue gets into the house where Lois is, and she just somehow automatically she knows it's Gene Simmons. I'm like, there's no way.
She slept with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, oh. How did this make it? Oh man, Family Guy just pushing the envelope
before he was Gene Simmons.
Oh man, that was a funny episode.
Oh man.
I want to thank you.
What was your overall opinion on Cockneys versus Zombies? Like, what was your end-to-end overall like breakdown of like how you enjoyed it?
Oh, dude, I not the first time, but another time I watched it. I was drinking a beer the first time I watched it. I was drinking a beer. And just some of the, and just it was so. I was drinking my beer and I spit my beer out laughing at it. It was so hilarious. It's like, how is a zombie movie this funny? It's not supposed to be this funny.
I'm not gonna lie. This isn't really a slight on movies. It's just because of the situation. Like a lot of times when I'm watching a movie, I'll be watching on my tablet or whatever, and I have an earbud in. And so when something funny happens, because like Valkyrie's watching something else or something, like I'm like more hesitant to like be loud about laughing and stuff. And so I find myself a lot of times laughing at stuff, but not laughing out loud. Like I'm laughing in my head because I'm like I went and saw the new Superman movie. And like there was in the beginning of that movie, there was things that happened, and I found myself sitting there, and I'm like, "This is funny," but I'm like thinking it, and I'm not like reacting, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I gotta stop this." So the one thing I will say about the movie is it legitimately got me to laugh out loud unexpectedly during certain scenes because of the humor in it.
And if you watch this movie, if you're drinking something, don't be drinking anything during the scene. You'll spit your drink out.
I'm gonna put the official stamp of approval on this and say that this would be a good movie to watch when you're stoned, because it's not scary. It's got some gore, but it's not like the scary gore. It's just kind of it works for the scene. The comedy will hit harder if you're a little stoned, and the overall mood of the movie will just be better. I feel like this is a good stoner comedy horror.
I'm gonna be a good host here. I'm gonna be a good host. I know we already did it with the jack-o'-lanterns, but since your show is called Thursday with Cockneys versus Zombies, from 0 out of 10, how many hammers would you give it?
That's what I was going to do on my show. So I will give Cockneys versus Zombies. You know what? I don't want to do it average because it's not average. I will give it a definitive 6 out of 10.
Six hammers.
Put the approval on that.
Well, I want to thank my friend and guest Thor for coming on the episode tonight and just making this another awesome episode. It's always an awesome episode having him on. And
Thank you, dude.
And we didn't have Valkyrie. She also makes the show. She makes the, not only when she's on here on this show, but when she does Thursday live, she just makes the show so much better interacting.
We'll have her on for the Krampus one. I'll make her watch Krampus with me, and that way we can have her on for it.
It's going to be another awesome episode and just crack some more jokes. And as you can see, I'll have I'm starting to get my setup a little better.
I want you to see this. I don't know how well this is going to come across. I want you to see how prepared your guest was. Like I had notes. Like I took notes.
I see that. I love it. I love it. I shot this from the hip. Like I shot this from the hip.
Yeah, there were certain things I was like, you know what? I got to make sure that, because I'll ramble. The only reason I do this is because I'll ramble too much. Like I've done it already on this show. But I was like, I've got to, like, it's not a lot, but everything I have here, I was like, this is specifically something I need to make sure I point out. And I think I've hit everything. Oh, you know what we didn't hit? I got to say it. And these are for any of my UK friends out there. The soccer hooligans. This is my favorite scene. Sorry, I got to cancel the no ticket one. My favorite scene is the two opposing soccer hooligans turned into zombies are still brawling and stabbing and hitting each other because they're opposing soccer team hooligans and fans. That was perfectly done. I completely forgot about that. It was at the bottom of my notes. I didn't see it until just now. That was one of my favorite scenes where the soccer hooligans as zombies were still fighting each other because they're opposing fans. That was fucking great.
Oh, if y'all haven't,
so there's my final word on the movie.
And if y'all haven't yet, if you don't follow Thor already and producer Valkyrie, y'all gotta go give them a follow. Go follow them on Instagram, YouTube, wherever Thor's Day is, go follow him. He is awesome content, an awesome dude. And my page and my podcast would not be what it is without him doing what he's done to help support this.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, and make sure, again, go follow Producer Valkyrie on Instagram. This is her Instagram right here. Go give her a follow. She's awesome. And go give Thor here a follow on Instagram as well. He does some awesome content, and he's also, I don't have the Instagram for him yet, but Thor's Day is also partnered with the Real Moment of Truth faction.
Yes. Yeah. So Wrestling with Thor, my second show, we do in partnership with Moment of Truth.
Yeah, and if y'all haven't yet, y'all gotta go check out. Just look at some of the stuff he does to help promote his page. I love.
Oh, we're doing big things there. Coop is doing huge things with Moment of Truth. He's really helping those our faction out and getting wrestlers. He's helping out wrestlers big time. It's fantastic. Doing a lot of good stuff.
And again, thank y'all for watching. If you catch this on the replay, I hope you enjoy it. And for me, as the Media Maverick, this is me telling you happy Halloween. I hope you get some candy and enjoy your tricks and enjoy your treats.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.